So you just finished building a car and want to test it on a track to see how it performs. Well, you really can't. While Forza Horizon 5 features some good dirt and off-road tracks, none of the road tracks in this game are good enough for testing cars. They are either too much power based or too much handling based, and the ones that are more balanced lack variety. There is no real way to compare cars since everyone tests their cars on a different track, but that's why we decided to build our own. I teamed up with a professional driver and track maker to come up with a near perfect test track. However, it turned out to be much harder than we thought. First, we needed to decide our target car class. There are currently 4 classes present in online racing, and the logical choice was to go with something in the middle, so we went with A and S1 class in mind. Next, we need to decide what kind of elements to include in our track. We need low, mid and high speed corners to make sure our car's mechanical and aerodynamic grip is properly tested. We also need enough straights to test our car's acceleration and top speed. Now we need to decide the balance. On a perfectly balanced track, both handling builds and power builds would be able to put down similar times. Most tracks in Forza are power based, and that's what we decided as well. The track should also be as short as possible. For more replayability, we decided to make it a circuit, and our target lap time was around 1 minute. With all these in mind, we began making routes, but there was a problem. Forza only allows you to choose the same starting point like from one of the default tracks. This limited the amount of routes we could come up with, but we still tried. And failed. None of the tracks we made met all the standards. We tried making new roads using the props included in Blueprint Builder, and this turned out to be even more difficult. First, we had to find a prop that shared the most similarities compared to asphalt. Our options were metal platform, wood platform, Hot Wheels platform, and a giant satellite dish. At first, the metal platform seemed like the best option, and there are people who used it to create full race tracks. But then I decided to check the surface grip modifier using the data out telemetry, and it turned out to be less grippier than asphalt. It was the same story with the Hot Wheels platform. However, wood turned out to have the same grip as the asphalt, but it had a major downside. It wasn't completely flat. Our last hope was this giant dish. If you flip it, it reveals a large flat area, which is a dream for many track makers. But then I decided to actually drive on it, and thanks Playground Games. Despite lack of proper props, I went ahead and tried to extend an already existing track. This was pain, and the final result? Yeah, this is not going to work. It was at this point that we decided to remove one of the main elements, and that being the track length. We had to extend our track to be able to use more roads. There simply weren't enough intersections on the map. We still decided to make it as short as possible, and come up with 2 different routes. The first one is an extension of Horizon Mexico Circuit, and it mainly features low to mid-speed corners. This area was made out of dirt, so we had no choice but to cover it with metal platforms. We also added 2 corners on the drag strip. The second track is an extension of Terra Prospera Circuit, and it mainly features mid to high speed corners. There are a few props on the track, but there is no way to remove them. Hopefully it gets added as a new feature since it already exists in developer tools. In the end, these tracks weren't perfect, but they were the best we could come up with using the current Blueprint tools. I ran a few laps with a bunch of different cars, and here are the times I managed to set. You can also run these tracks yourself and submit your own times on a custom leaderboard. All you have to do is join the Discord link in the description and post your times. Here are the track codes with different variations. Thanks for watching, and I'll be looking forward to seeing what times you can set.